Quick public service announcement to any bullies out there. Either stop what you're doing, or Octavia Spencer is gonna kill your fucking ass.
Movie review, fuck you!
How does it feel to be on the outside looking in? Let's get this party turned up!
What are you doing?
Maw is the latest movie to come out of the horror meat grinder known as Blumhouse, and it stars Octavia Spencer and a bunch of other shithead kids and a director that I don't give a fuck about. But you know, I actually did have a lot of fun watching this movie. It sort of reminds me of a combination of those cheesy 80s slasher flicks like Slaughter High and a Lifetime movie. And the plot is really simple and straightforward. As a matter of fact, the trailer even kind of spells it out for you. The story revolves around Octavia Spencer's character, Sue Ann, who, through high school and the majority of her adult life, has been bullied by a bunch of people, and so now she's starting to take revenge by getting back at those that bullied her. And you know, in a way I kind of felt a lot of sympathy for her, because coming from somebody who had been bullied in school on numerous occasions, I kind of feel that pain along with her. I know what it's like. But she obviously crosses a threshold of no return where she just snaps and goes fucking insane. And I really do like that about her character in this movie. I do like the sense of, yeah, you kind of feel bad, but at the same time, you wouldn't go as far as she does just simply to get revenge. But like I said before, I did have a lot of fun watching this movie. There were a lot of moments that really made me just laugh out loud in the middle of the theater. My one issue with that, though, is that I feel like a lot of those humor moments were very unintentional. I mean, either way, it works for the movie and it makes the movie entertaining, but you know, it's one of those things that when you're watching the movie, you find yourself laughing at shit that really you wouldn't necessarily be laughing at otherwise. But I think it's just the tone of the movie and the way these situations sort of play out that you just can't help but to laugh at either how ridiculous they are or how absurd they are, or necessarily how out of left field some of this shit comes. But the biggest positive in this movie and the biggest standout in this movie is Octavia Spencer. She is just a fucking force in this movie. She's a lot of fun, and it's nice to see her get a role like this to where she can sort of tap into this dark, unnerving, and like scary side. Because normally, I think the majority of the time when she gets casted, it's always as like the friend of the lead actress or actor, and she's always sort of sassy and stuff like that. So I feel like she's kind of been typecasted into some of those roles, whereas this, she gets a chance to be the lead, she gets the chance to really stand out, and she gets the chance to play a really sort of emotionally scarred, complex, and interesting character. You know, she really runs the gamut with this character, and she does a fucking phenomenal job.
Are you guys mad at me for something?
I don't want to hang out at Ma's anymore.
Don't make me drink alone. Don't make me drink alone.
But the flip side to Octavia Spencer were these kids in the movie, and to tell you the truth, I really thought they were kind of bland, both from an acting standpoint and from a character development standpoint. Especially the main actress. I can't remember her name offhand. That's how much of an impression she left on me. She wasn't terrible, but she really wasn't necessarily good either. She kind of spent the entire movie like dry and wooden, and had this deer in headlights expression on her face more than once through the movie, and it kind of got a little annoying. But along with some dry wooden characters, there also came some really kind of shitty character decisions. And one example of piss poor decision making I'll tell you here, it's towards the end of the movie when all the kids are locked in the basement and the house gets set on fire. There's an easy fucking way to get out of the house, and that's just simply going up the basement steps, going through the house, and then out the front door. But these fucking dumbass kids just go to the basement door that exit out into the backyard, which is locked, and they're just sitting there pounding, screaming. It's like, motherfucker, there's steps right back there. All you have to do is just go up those and out. Seriously. I mean, come on, how fucking stupid are you? Now, to me personally, I do feel like this movie focused a little bit too much on the kids, when the more interesting story and the more interesting drama was between Sue-Ann and the parents. And I say that because the parents of these kids were the ones that tormented Sue-Ann when she was in high school, when she was growing up. And they're the ones that Sue-Ann wants to get revenge on. These kids are just kind of the ammunition for her revenge plot. So for me, in my mind, thinking about it after I saw the movie, I really feel like there was a missed opportunity there to explore more with the parents and do more with them and kind of keep the kids as tertiary side characters in this story. Because like I said, the main drama is between Sue-Ann and the parents and not necessarily Sue-Ann and the kids. And because of that decision, you get a bunch of main characters that you really don't give a fuck about, and you're more interested in a part of the story that really only takes up maybe 20 minutes of the actual film itself. I really think there was a missed opportunity there, and I think the movie could have been a lot deeper and a lot darker and more sinister had they focused more with the parents instead of the kids. I did also feel that Sue-Ann's motivations and overall scheme in this movie were a little contrived. And I'm not really going to spoil what her plan and scheme is other than exacting revenge on those that have wronged her through her life. But like I said, that scheme is really contrived, and it all just hinges on a bunch of variables that, when you really think about it, needs to miraculously fall in place in order for this to happen. And the movie kind of leads you to believe that this plan she's had in place and has been like working on and obsessing over for years really all hinged on the main character, the main girl, moving back into town with her mother. Now, had that not happened, would she still have gone through with this plan? Or is this something that just came up spur of the moment because she recognized these kids when they asked her to buy alcohol? The movie really doesn't answer that for you. I can get the idea of her obsessing over this sort of shit for years and then maybe coming up with this plan on the spur of the moment, but the movie leads you to believe that she has been kind of concocting this whole thing for years. So I don't know. I found it kind of confusing, and the movie really doesn't address it, so I think they'd rather you just not think about it at all and just kind of go along with it.
Why's my son
You smell just like your daddy.
spending time at your house?
Hey, guys.
That bitch is crazy.
Probably something wrong with me.
But that was my short and sweet review. Let's go to that motherfucking wing scale. Yes, I'm giving this a mild and medium. It's a little unbalanced and contrived and really doesn't do a lot to stand out on its own, and I don't think it's a movie I'd really rush back and see on multiple viewings. But I did have fun watching it, and Octavia Spencer's performance is worth the price of admission alone. So if you're on the fence with whether you really want to see this movie or not, I say go see it. It's fun. That was my look into Ma. Have any of you guys seen it out there? What did you think? Please post your comments in the comment section below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Adios and GTFO.